Hello everyone, another quick video from me just before we go and do another puppy class. So I'm talking to you today about something that you may see referenced as control and management, C&M, management, controlling the environment. All of these things mean exactly the same thing. The reason that you would have seen this written down in a blog, in classes, or I may have spoken about it, is because one of the things that often dog trainers are asked, and that I get asked all of the time, is how to stop my dog or my puppy doing something. So there are obviously things that dogs do when they live with humans, which are not particularly compatible with our lifestyle. So things like jumping up, stealing things off the side in the kitchen, pulling on the lead, all of those things. And so what we do as humans is we want to think about, how do I stop that from happening? What I generally find is that people want to race into the training. So how do I stop that? I must train them to do something, which is absolutely fine, but there's a key piece missing before we get to that point, and that is controlling or managing the environment to stop your puppy practicing and rehearsing that behaviour. So why is that important? Practice makes behaviours more likely to occur. They become habit. So the more your dog and the more your puppy does something, the more likely it is to do it again. For example, if your dog has run off and chased a squirrel and had the best time ever, and they've done that time and time again, it's very likely they're going to do it over and over again. And the reason for that is they've done it multiple times, so therefore they're in the habit of running off and checking for those squirrels. Now, obviously, it's a little bit more complicated than that, but in interest of keeping this under a 3-minute video, we want to make sure that our dogs, before we train them to do something different, are getting out of the habit of the thing that we don't want them to do. So, in the example of the squirrel chaser, you might put your dog on the long line, and that is controlling and managing the situation so that your dog can't continually chase after those squirrels. In the example of jumping up, you might put your dog on the lead so that when guests come through into the household, your dog isn't able to jump up at them. Or you might pop them in the garden with a chew so that when everybody's a bit more settled, then the dog is introduced to them when the sort of excitement is over and the dog's less likely to jump up. That is you managing the environment. So, management, control and management, C&M, is a really big slice of the pie, and it's really important to think about when you are thinking about what you don't want your dog to do anymore. Obviously, there's other elements, stuff that I'll go through with people on one-to-ones, training, enrichment, diet, etc. But if you are thinking about how to stop your puppy doing something, have a really hard think about how to control and manage the environment effectively so that your dog isn't rehearsing those things. Hope that's helpful.